evening, Cockpit Country. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone for their support in the 2021 general elections. We appreciate all the voters who came out and exercised their right to vote and participate in the good governance of our country and the exercise of the right to free and fair elections. Thank you all for coming out to vote. Though I have had town hall meetings with the nationals where I live in the territory, it is important that for me, I communicate in an official manner for the benefit of all persons living within the general territory and the diaspora. In ensuring a transparent government, after 45 days in office, I would like to do a review of our achievements thus far. We have initiated raising funds for infrastructure projects, mainly water and roads. We want to ensure that a compound has sustainable running water to take care of its citizens and members living in the adjoining communities. This infrastructural improvement will be of great benefit to the state in many ways. For example, it will make it easier for the women and the elders of the territory who currently have no running water and have to manually fetch water using buckets and drums. Now more than ever, during the disease and pandemic, situation for clean water is way more important to preventing and containing or eliminating the disease. Thus, we need to pay very, very much attention to getting proper sanitary procedures in place, which can only be made easier with the access of water. Our agricultural industry will also stand to benefit greatly, making it easier for cultivation to irrigate our crops. In heeding and hearing to the people's cries for an effective and strong government that acts independently in its own right, this administration declared our independence to make it clear that we intend to exercise our sovereignty and independence as a state in our own right. And in exercising our rights as indigenous people, this was something our ancestors waged war to defend and protect, and it is a vital part of our legacy as Maroons. We are the people whose ancestors fought, and what we have fought for was the right to maintain our independence and sovereignty. If we don't have that, we cannot call ourselves Maroons. In an effort to maintain a respect for the rule of law and holding our officials accountable for the people, a thorough investigation and forensic audit was conducted concerning the dealings and prior administration regarding the Lumi. We found out that it was a total scam that had aimed to defraud our people and the poor, unsuspected individuals of our communities, so as to entice unsuspecting victims into giving up their information. The scammers involved in this now criminal enterprise went as far as to lure in innocent farmers by convincing them that they would receive free money and stimulus packages in their bank accounts. To make matters worse, these criminals were attempting to use our lands and resources as collateral for their scheme, defrauding us while they make off with whatever they have managed to scrape from unsuspecting victims. These scammers have gone on worldwide networks using their compound name and the Maroons as their passport to get them where they need to go and to advance their scam. As a state, we need to do all that is necessary to protect our integrity and to make ourselves respected as a state to do business with for the economic upliftment of our people and our state. We already see the negative effects that can occur when a nation is branded as a nation of scammers. We see how the discrimination affects everyone, especially when they have to go to Western Union to do business, to collect money and otherwise. So we see we're maintaining a good image, and honest character is vital to the success of our nation. We have begun to mark our borders, meaning for too long there have been this misunderstanding concerning our people and our lands. We must remind everyone that our ancestors were the first people of Jamaica, meaning that we and our government were here first. When the British wanted to set up a colony in Jamaica, they had to make a treaty with us to make that possible. In 1962, however, the British made their colony independent, and ever since there has been banter back and forth regarding whether or not the colony was obligated to respect the treaty made in the mother country, which it established their rights. Now more than ever, it is important to stake our claim in our lands. It is important that we protect our land and our sovereignty. It is integral in protecting the integrity of our state. It is vital that we protect the entire Cockpit country and not try to comfort ourselves into thinking that what happens in the outer reaches of our territory does not affect us in the capital and adjoining districts. We must remember that as it pertains to mining and other destructive activities in the Cockpit country, we must be vigilant, especially because we rely on natural resources, the water, the rainwater, the groundwater, and the natural springs. If we interrupt the land in a major way, we have absolutely no way of protecting how nature will react to the ecologic imbalance that would then ensue. I would also like to address Papa Will and express how ashamed and disappointed I am of his behavior on social media. It is clear that disruptive behaviors and manipulative forces still continue to preside over our communities without even understanding or taking time to appreciate the efforts of government and what we're trying to achieve as statewide. We're giving people on the outside the impression that we Maroons do not have the ability to unite. During my 45-day tenure in office, I've taken great care to ensure full transparency and full involvement of the people. I have kept the community in the loop through various town hall meetings and have since spoken to several elders of the community to re-engage and form the Council of Elders, which is a key functioning arm of government. To date, unfortunately, we still have not had that alignment of our elders. Nonetheless, it will happen. And nonetheless, the sayings of the few will not conquer the important initiative of the greater lot. The people were most pleased when their government was unveiled in the official ceremony, which was open and announced to all Maroons to attend. Because we are one family, I had respectfully asked the elders to form the Council of Elders. So I respectfully, again, submit that we as a government represent the people, will always be for the people, and in advocacy of taking my oath in office of representing stewardship of 1738 Treaty of Peace and Friendship, I will not shake in protecting what is due to us, which is our lands, our freedom, and our capacity as a sovereign entity. I will say this, that unlike the previous colonel, I live in the community and I have made myself available to the members of this community. I will continue to do so. While we do not have a fully functioning central office, it is my intention to unravel all the mysteries around our so-called bank, which is a perfect facility to house the council and members of the government. So to this end, while we are not perfectly situated, we will facilitate conversations with our members of the community, as I have been doing in the past 45 days and will continue to do. To that end, I would like to say, I urge Papa Will and other parties involved to come to me in peace and let us sit down and have constructive conversations that both parties can come away feeling satisfied, and that we may go on with the business of taking care of our inheritance that Cudjo and our ancestors fought for our families. Finally, on the aspect of marking the boundaries, in my humble opinion, I feel like if we wait for equipment, money, and assistance, we will be waiting in vain. And 283 years from now, we will still be singing that same old song. I feel that the only equipment that we need is our brains, hearts, hands, and feet. This is all our ancestors had when they fought to defend the same territory that we are trying to mark out. If the elders feel that I am not marking the right places, then I urge them to quickly come to my assistance. Quickly form the council. Let us work together. Let us put the government to work as it should have been doing for the past 283 years. If you insist on arguing and squabbling amongst each other, it is my duty to my ancestors and to the people who elected this government. We will go forward as is our duty, because time waits on no man. Thank you.